Today's roast is of myself, or of one of my old explainer videos actually. Well, we're not really going to roast it. I'm going to show it to you. We're gonna watch it together. I'm going to react to it a little bit and also comment on what I would have done differently today now that I'm older and wiser. When I'm wiser and I'm older. We're going to talk about the video on 3 different levels: the script, the structure, how's that laid out, the sound side of things, the voiceover music and sound effects, and then the last part is the visuals, how is it animated. I think you'll be able to learn a thing or two about what to do and not to do. Let's jump into it. Værsgo.
Does shipping and handling cause a bottleneck in the growth of your business? Webshipr is an all-in-one shipping application that gives you the freedom and time to grow your business through automatic shipping and management of orders. The platform is different from other solutions because it automates the entire order flow from start to finish, regardless of the number of orders. Webshipr automatically handles shipping and labels, packing lists, tracking, customs reporting, and all other parts of your order flow. Our customers especially like the scan and print flow, where you can handle an entire order in one single scan. With Webshipr up your sleeve, there's no limit to the number of orders you can handle, since the solution is scalable and grows with your company. And of course, Webshipr communicates with your e-commerce platforms, ERP systems, and your warehouse, so you can keep track of how your business is doing. With all order data in one place, your warehouse and customer service have the best conditions for working together effectively on returns and customer affairs. In short, Webshipr makes your order flow so simple that you will love when the orders come pouring in. Visit webshipr.com today and book a free platform demo. Webshipr, grow your business with automated shipping.
And fading out. Great, so that's the explainer video we did for Webshipr, a small startup. I think that it's a good explainer video, but there is a lot that I would have done differently today. So I think the first thing that is important to look into is the structure. How is the script written? It starts out with this business question that asks the viewer whether or not they are struggling with shipping.
Does shipping and handling cause a bottleneck in the growth of your business?
A great way to start, actually, because it filters the audience a little bit. Those who disagree will just turn it off and move on with their life. And those that do recognize this business question that's being asked during the first couple of seconds will stay because they'll know it's relevant. So that's kind of a stop-go mechanism in the beginning of the video. Then comes these 2 sentences of an intro pitch where it briefly pitches what Webshipr is.
Webshipr is an all-in-one shipping application that gives you the freedom and time to grow your business through automatic shipping and management of orders.
And I think that's also a pretty nice way to start things off, to actually introduce the overall concept and then move on to the other things. What it then moves into is how Webshipr is different. The main unique selling points are presented there. What is it? What can it do? What are the benefits? And a couple of feature examples.
The platform is different from other solutions because it automates the entire order flow from start to finish, regardless of the number of orders. Webshipr automatically handles shipping and labels, packing lists, tracking, customs reporting, and all other parts of your order flow.
Then it moves into kind of a customer case or an example of this scan, one scan shipping and handling thing.
Our customers especially like the scan and print flow, where you can handle an entire order in one single scan.
And I think that's also pretty neat. Then we move into, they kind of address this inner dialogue where it talks about whether or not it can handle my business. So if people are thinking about that, is it the right tool for me, both in terms of the size and the tech stack? The explainer addresses that by talking about it being able to handle like hundreds of orders and also being able to integrate with all these other tools.
With Webshipr up your sleeve, there's no limit to the number of orders you can handle, since the solution is scalable and grows with your company. And of course, Webshipr communicates with your e-commerce platforms, ERP systems, and your warehouse, so you can keep track of how your business is doing.
In the end, there's a small added benefit talking about the communications, how it kind of enables the different departments to talk together and work together.
With all order data in one place, your warehouse and customer service have the best conditions for working together effectively on returns and customer affairs.
And then there's the conclusion where it says, in short, this is what Webshipr does for you.
In short, Webshipr makes your order flow so simple that you will love when the orders come pouring in.
And then there's like the end screen, the call to action, book a free demo, and then the end screen with, email and phone number and all that stuff, and the logo.
Visit Webshipr.com today and book a free platform demo. Webshipr, grow your business with automated shipping.
I think it's a great general explainer video structure. It has some commonalities with what I've talked about as the USP Uzi. There's a lot of information, dry information at times. I think it's a lot of just shooting bullets at the viewer with concrete information on what the tool does. So I miss a story actually. I think oftentimes somewhat of a story works better than just pure information. But I remember that that's what the customer wanted to have. Maybe it's too much information. I feel a little bit of a information overload at times, but overall I think it's a pretty good structure with the question, the short pitch, a few examples of features, and then towards the end kind of adds another benefit and the communication stuff, and then there's like a call to action at the end. Pretty classic structure. So not much to roast there. The next phase is the sound side of things, and I can tell you that the voiceover is an American guy called Paul Sky, who's an extremely popular voiceover artist on Fiverr.
Hello, Fiverr folks. My name is Paul Sky. I know how difficult it is to get top-notch quality work on today's budget.
I paid him maybe $50 or something to narrate this voiceover for us, and I think he does a great job. I also think that the tone of voice is not too salesy, but still, fresh and explainer-like.
Webshipr, grow your business with automated shipping.
The jingle is also very classic for explainer videos. This ukulele song with a bit of bells and keys. It's a little happy-go-lucky, and some have grown tired of that style. But it's pretty normal within this genre of 2D explainer videos. So I think it's all right. And I think the sound volume, like the volume levels between the voiceover and the music is great. Even with headphones where the music tends to be a little louder, it mixes fairly well. Then we have a couple of sound effects. I think it really adds an extra layer, extra texture to the animations when you have sound effects on top. And it's very subtle and only 3 times. I don't know if you spotted it, but it's the scan beep.
One single scan.
It's the desks are popping, and there are some pop sounds there.
The solution is scalable and grows with your company.
And then there's the mouse click towards the end when you should book a demo.
Visit Webshipr.com today and book a free platform demo.
We could turn up the number of sound effects a little bit. It shouldn't be kind of overtaking the whole story with crazy sound effects, but it really does act as an extra level of texture to the video. The music is ending a bit abruptly. All of a sudden it just cuts off. I like a more fade out kind of feel, and try to find a moment in the music where it naturally ends. So the last chord in a chord progression, you can end it there, end it on the first chord, or if you don't know too much about music, you'll try to listen for places in the music where it naturally kind of lands instead of just cutting it off all of a sudden. I think that could have been done better in this explainer video. Let's move on to the last part of critique here, the visuals. think the opener is great. It's very, interesting and engaging with the depth that there is in this scene. It's connected to the core problem of struggling with shipping and handling, a guy falling. Some would say that it's not too great to open an explainer with a sad face, with negative emotions. You should kind of begin on a high. But since it kind of contrasts kind of a sad world with a better world, a problem with a solution, it's fine to start with the kind of sad face and a guy falling, because there's a lot of dynamics. Something is happening. It's a little bit dramatic. So I think it's great for hooking the viewer during those first few seconds. One thing that I don't like too much about this video is it has a lot of icons, and it has a lot of text attached to these icons, and at times it becomes pretty difficult to distill the meaning of all these icons, especially because they are only loosely connected to what the voiceover says.
Automates the entire order flow from start to finish, regardless of the number of orders.
So even though the voiceover describes a feature or a process, the icons that pop up have to be interpreted individually, and they have a small label where you are being told what the individual icon is and stands for, but it doesn't sync up with the voiceover. And then there is this hypothesis that you can't read text while you're listening to something else and take both channels in, right? You're being stimulated visually, verbally, and now you also have to read and comprehend what the text says. Instead of icons, you could create more conceptual scenes or environmental scenes that encompasses what's being said in a more holistic way, instead of just showing an icon. When I say shipping, then there is a shipping icon, and handling, then there is a hand, or whatever you might have, right? It doesn't have to be that literal. There's also kind of a style mix, because it is a video made in Vyond, but all the icons are imported, and that's easy to see. You can see that they are slightly pixelated when they move around, when they slide in, slide out, or when you zoom in or out, you can see that the contour on the icons is a little bit pixelated. And the style of the icons is also different from the icons you would find in Vyond's own libraries. So that's something to consider. If it's possible to find these icons or props inside the animation tool you use, do that instead of import it from external libraries like what are they called, kind of a different style. So if you want to use a lot of icons, try to see if you can find them inside your tool instead. The environmental scenes I have three different scene categories that I'll talk about: the textual ones, the conceptual ones, and the environment scenes, where you have like an office or a house or a living room, whatever. In these environmental scenes, you could add a little bit more of a background. You could add some more details to the background. Who knows, maybe there was a bit of a time constraint. Maybe the clients didn't pay enough for us to spend the time on doing the backgrounds right, but it's fairly easy to add a little bit of a texture, a little bit of a background. The overall colors of the video are very much in line with the brand guide we got from Webshipr, which was a brand guide consisting of mainly blue and gray colors. So we have the blue, gray, and white primarily in this video, and then we supplement with a few other colors like the green and the red, which are not part of the brand guide. You could maybe discuss whether those colors needed to be there. It's not really a big deal, but overall I think the explainer video really stays with these few colors, and the overall feel of the video is that it is kind of a branded video. It uses a specific set of colors all the way through in everything that's there. So I think that's good. Well done, me a couple of years ago, right? The UI remake at the end, at the call to action, when you say go to the website and book a demo, the trend was, what we did often was that we would remake the UI of the customer's website or whatever form they had. We would try to not take a screenshot of that would look weird, but then we would kind of recreate the interface and show the viewer exactly where to click and what forms and fields to fill out. Today, I don't really think that's necessary. I think everyone knows how to go to a website and click a big button and fill out a form. You don't have to show that literally with all these fields being filled out. that is obvious and self-explanatory. So when you talk about the calls to action, maybe be a little more creative than just a form with some fields that get filled out. So I would probably do that differently today. The use of the logo is a little heavy. It's being shown, I don't know what, 3, 5, 7 times throughout the video. And the theory goes that mentions of logos and mentions of brands is not really being remembered. It doesn't really sink into the mind of us human beings. It needs to be tied to the story. The brand or the logo needs to be kind of interwoven with the actual message, the core message. So I don't think it's beneficial to just show the logo a bunch of times or down in the corner all the time throughout the video. That's also was a trend, at least. I think it's enough to just mention it verbally and show it towards the end, and then that's branded enough. So I would probably dial down a little bit on the use of the Webshipr logo. Overall, a fine animation video. It's a bit simple in terms of visuals. It has a very, classic explainer script that I think works well. Intro, some core message in the middle, and then a call to action. That is the explainer video 101 structure. The sound is great, professional voiceover, fine background music, some sound effects, but we could have done better in that regard. The visuals are fine, great brand guide, sticks with the colors throughout. Heavy use of the logos, too many icons, too much of a mix or a kind of an info overload between visual icons, visual text you have to comprehend, and at the same time listen to the voiceover and understand what's being said. So that's kind of a double layer of information that confuses more than it helps. So I think I do that a little differently today. I try to sync up the voiceover and the visuals very, very consistently. And I wouldn't use all these icons. You have to step back and think of a larger context. Maybe we could show it in a different way, or just get rid of the texts, really. That would also help. I don't think anyone has the time to read them anyways. All in all, a fine explainer video. And I can tell you that the customer paid $1,500 for this video because it was kind of, they got it in 2 versions, one Danish version and one American version. So that cost a little bit extra. But $1,500 was the project price. So that is the level that you have to aim towards if you want to sell an animation video for about, let's just say, $1,000 for one, right? So I hope that feels like an encouragement. It doesn't have to be better than that for customers and clients to pay for your explainer skills. If you have anything that you think is great or bad about this video, leave it as a comment in the comments below the video, and we'll continue the discussion about this animation case there. Thanks for watching. If you like this format, like the video, and I'll know whether or not I should be making more of these in the future. Take care. Bye.